Hello everyone, Jasmine Wade here, presenting my informative speech. More black men are in prison or in jail and on probation or parole than were enslaved in 1850 before the Civil War began, according to Michelle Alexander, author of The New Jim Crow, Mass Incarceration and the Age of Colorblindness. This is an alarming statistic that speaks volumes about America's criminal justice system and how it affects minorities. Instead of implementing strict disenfranchising laws and regulations, governments, prisons, and agencies should promote practices that foster development through investment in education, family system structure, and integration back to society after imprisonment. I will review the impact of the mass incarceration of black men on the black community as a whole. I will use primary and secondary sources to explore the effects of the disproportionate number of black men behind bars and the challenges presented to an entire community by this phenomenon. The impact on the community is severe, but there are solutions to this issue. One issue is destabilization of family units. Even though an individual pays retribution for breaking the law, the punishment meted out to that individual snowballs to the community as a whole, directly or indirectly. In other words, there are the community dynamics that come to the fore. In some black neighborhoods, the arrest and imprisonment of people in the neighborhood is so prevalent that children even tend to think it is the norm. As a child, I shared this view to an extent, having my father and several men, uncles, cousins, and the like, incarcerated throughout my life. There is a sense of helplessness and lawlessness. The children left behind by an incarcerated father feel much like I did, alienated and betrayed. They grow up without a father figure they could look up to for direction. Their life choices are at the mercy of the company they keep, which invariably is among people who have been emotionally and psychologically scarred themselves. It becomes the issue of the blind leading the blind. A hallmark of good family unit that centers around love, trust, obedience, and responsibility. The void created in the lives of children of incarcerated fathers destabilizes the family unit of black communities from one generation to another, and it deepens economic inequality and the social stigma of underachievement. Collateral damage is caused in the creation of an artificial scarcity of available black males. Other than the natural phenomenon whereby women outlive men in all races, the high incarceration rate of black males contributes to a reduced male-to-female ratio, resulting in the prevalence and perpetuation of single female-headed households. A high male incarceration rate also leads to the breakdown of the family unit, leading to indiscipline, promiscuity, and the development of other social problems in the family. Michelle Alexander asserted that neighborhoods with high levels of joblessness and social disorganization may be less able to have parents and neighborhood leaders assert the type of influence that would bring greater social cohesion that is available in more well-off neighborhoods. With children having children in most of these poor black communities, a lack of proper parental care, and the prevalence of substance abuse by pregnant teens, one does not have to be a rocket science to envisage the type of life challenges that await this group of children. In short, not only would the vicious poverty cycle be perpetuated, but it may become a way of life from one generation to another if not interrupted early. Another negative impact of the justice system on black communities is the exclusion of convicted felons from participation in the political process associated with voting rights. A study by the Human Rights Watch in 1998 estimated the U.S. to have 3.9 million disenfranchised citizens, including 1 million who have completed their sentences. The disenfranchisement law also is a national policy which is an affront to the black communities with incarcerated black males. Disintegration of formal institutions in black communities. The continuous exodus of black males from black communities due to high incarceration rate accelerates the breakdown of formal institutions associated with the development and strengthening of social capital by the rule of law. Other miscellaneous problems of national caliber that affect black communities have not been discussed so far, but they are not limited to racism, housing discrimination, and police brutality. The truth of the matter is that people of other races are also involved in crimes, commonly drug trafficking, and to single a particular race of people out is unjustifiably a racist policy. In sum, endemic racism, in all its camouflages, still rears its ugly head and manifests itself in a number of institutions, including redlining by financial institutions, payroll inequality for the same job performances, and denial of promotions in the workplace, just to name three.